Hello everyone, Anita here and welcome to another video. Today, well, how do I say this? I have been planning to do something completely different. I mean, if you've attended the stream on Friday, you probably... Actually, now that I think about it, I even mentioned in the last video that today was supposed to be part 2 of the Arteza watercolor and watercolor paper review. However, I've encountered some problems. You see, for the longest time now, I've had this problem with getting overwhelmed. At least that's how I call it. Perhaps you call it something different. And, well, it's been really bad lately. And so today, when I was thinking about painting anything, it kind of didn't want to work. So I've decided to just take a step back and try to enjoy myself a little bit. But I still wanted to make a video, so I've decided, you know what, I'm just going to record it and see how that turns out. Yeah. So, in the background here, I'm working on my bullet journal. I have purchased one not so long ago. I didn't have a chance to do anything in it for March. I've decided to start it in April. And so here in the background, I'm doing a little bit of a, just basic sketching. I'm not going to be really talking about the bullet journal itself because this is my first time using it. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm expecting that there are certain things I will need, and that's what I'm preparing. But I think, if I ever made a second video, or if you guys want to kind of see another video, please tell me. Then I will talk about it more, because at the moment I was really confused about how I would like to use my bullet journal. Because bullet journal in itself, the way I see it on Pinterest, the way I see other people using it, for me that's useless. Not as in the idea, it's just for my personal way of working and just operating and scheduling. Having a bullet journal is pretty much useless. I have one notebook for my daily stuff, which I just wouldn't be able to have it in a pretty perfect bullet journal. It's very, whatever I do, whatever I schedule is very rough, it's very sketchy. I often just doodle, I'm really rough with it. So having a pretty, prim and proper bullet journal for my daily things is just useless for me. I think useless is a very harsh word. It doesn't fit my style. However, do you guys know how it is when you see everybody around you doing the same thing and you just become curious and you would like to try it yourself? Well, that's me and bullet journals. Now, to be completely fair, I have been using a bullet grid, like the bullet patterned notebook, for other things for a while now. However, I haven't actually purchased a bullet journal because I didn't see a need for it until the other day, really. Because I purchased it just because I wanted to have it. But that's why I didn't really use it straight away, because I didn't really know what to put in it. I was just very, very curious. And that's when we're going back to that idea, to my story, that I got really, really overwhelmed. After painting all those Zorro paintings, a little series of paintings, I really dropped everything to work on that. And I don't regret it at all. It's a very good project. It helped. It will help. I still have to transfer the money. Luckily, there's still time. It was a very good project. I've learned a lot. It was worth it. However, after finishing it, I felt really drained. I could feel the burnout kind of approaching. That's something I've started learning to notice. Perhaps at some point I'm going to make a video about it. It's a separate topic. But the thing was that every single day I get new things that I have to do. And there's a lot of it. Recently I started doing 2 videos a week. That adds to work. There are other things I have to do. that adds the work. And if I get tired and I'm not prepared and I want to have a rest, then my work starts piling up. And that's when I start panicking. I know it sounds pretty silly, but I do really panic when I have too much work. I don't really know why, because there's no real consequences if I don't do something. That's, I think, one of the good things about working for yourself is that you don't really... If you're working for yourself on your personal projects, I'm not talking about commissions or, paid projects or something like that, but anything you do for yourself, if you don't do it, you're just responsible in front of yourself. That's it. So, yeah, it's not really that big of a deal. But in my head, it just grows to this huge problem that I'm going too easy on myself. I could totally do it. I could do it, but I am just, for some reason, I'm tired. I can't figure out why I'm tired. The fatigue is kicking in. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Whenever I'm burned out, or just, it's not really a burnout, because burnout is something different. But I get fatigued quite a lot. And that's the kind of feeling when you are just, you're doing something and you get tired so quickly, ridiculously quickly. And it's really, because, it's to the point where you can't really think straight and you have to take a break. And often I have to take a nap to kind of get some energy back into me. And that's really, really annoying. It's annoying me to no end, because in my head, and that's another problem, in my head, I'm like, I do not have time for this, okay? I don't have time to be tired. And so what I do, actually, because this is just another, this is something, I'm just tired. I'm just tired after a big project, and that's it. That's pretty much it. But I let myself rest. So I'm not really tired. It's just, for some reason, I have I get fatigued really quickly. And so what I will do is that I will work for, let's say, half an hour, take a break, then work for another half an hour, take a break. That just includes breaks really, really often. But it's still just it's just something really, really annoying, because while I'm taking those breaks, I'm not doing as much work as I would do on a normal day. And that work keeps piling up. I keep wanting to do stuff. I keep panicking that, there's so much work to do. It just all adds up into this, one is fueling the other, if that makes sense. So I started thinking eventually, because of course, this is all coming from just working, managing yourself at home. Working from home is something completely different than working in a business. If you're not careful, you're gonna be working 24/7. I catch myself thinking about work before sleep. That's usually the first thing that I think about in the morning. I do not really get breaks. I don't get weekends unless I really... No, even if I have a weekend, I sneak in some, work in there. Because there's just so many things I want to do and I have to do because this is my business. But at the same time, it's a learning curve to just learn to let go and to learn to, give yourself some rest. And that's a common problem. That's nothing unusual. It's just that, every single person that works from home or works freelance, they just have to learn somehow to manage that fatigue, manage the burnout. I don't want to call art block because I do not believe in an art block. Just, you guys get the point, right? It's just that all those different conditions have to be managed somehow. And so I constantly keep thinking about how I could, get better, how I could make it easier on myself. And so I figured that I took a really nice step some time ago to get a little bit more organized, I've mentioned it quite a lot that I'm working with the timer right now, where I'm just working the 20 minutes at a time, and alarm rings, and then I switch to something different, and that keeps everything nice and fresh, and but that doesn't work when I'm fatigued because I get tired so quickly. So I've realized that I have to schedule better. I have to plan better for these kind of situations. Because, for example, right now, and that's why we are just doing something completely different today, is because I was so tired that the idea of standing for several hours painting, doing a review, it made me feel so sick that it was just really, it was a bad feeling. So, and I didn't have anything to fill that hole, to fill that gap. Another video, let's say. Just because I just decided to start doing those videos recently, and I still have not managed to kind of work up some kind of idea thing, schedule. And that's when it popped in my head that this is exactly what I could use the bullet journal for. I wouldn't use it as a daily planner, but more as a project management. Now, there are several different spreads there. I have that typical monthly, month spread where you have every single day of the month. And there I will be marking, when the videos are coming up, what other things strictly work related are happening. So that I can see it exactly, I can see it visually, and I can see, by what I remember these things. But maybe it will help me if I just have it in a notebook, in a bullet journal. Of course, it doesn't have to be a bullet journal, but the bullet journal helps me to do it exactly the way I want. That's pretty much the only reason why I'm doing it in a bullet journal, aside of course, being curious. Then I have a tracker, like a habit tracker, and there are a few different things on that habit tracker that are mostly just, I'm trying to start getting up without, for example, getting up without snoozing. That snooze button on your alarm. Oh my god, that's just something that drives me insane. I can just keep sleeping for another 2 hours. Because I don't have to get up, right? I really don't. And because my boyfriend and me, we are working, we have different schedules pretty much. Our days overlap only for a couple of hours during the day. So, normally if you're getting up together with your boyfriend in the morning, kind of like push each other. And here if it's only up to me, I'll be sleeping all day. Especially when I'm fatigued, then I would just sleep all day if I could. So that's an example. And so I have a few of those. There's some social media stuff, things like that. Another thing next to it is that idea jar. That's just a very cheesy way of presenting it. But I get a lot of ideas. I write them down on little post-its, and then they just vanish. I am pretty sure that I have a stash of post-its somewhere in my room, in my studio. And I have no idea where it is. So I've decided that would be a good idea to have this one specific place where I will be just writing down little ideas, because there are sometimes even just snippets. They're just little words or phrases, like something pops in my head and I write it down quickly. Or during stream, you guys give me ideas in streams, and I write them down on a piece of paper, and then that piece of paper just goes missing. Okay, so it makes me really upset. So I thought this would be a very good idea to just have that one page that I could always refer to. And this is of course just a test, so I'm thinking that might be a little bit too small for what I use, because this is a monthly, this might be a little bit too little space, but it's just a start. We will see how that goes next month. As you can see, I went a little bit ham with the gold. I love the gold ink. I'm addicted to it. It's just the most beautiful shiny gold ever. I didn't want to decorate or anything like that. I didn't want to go overboard because I've done scrapbooking in the past and project life in the past, and I did some art journaling, and it just, none of these projects really speak to me. I find they're really nice if that's your hobby, but if you are, I'm already doing art every single day, I need something more practical. I'm not saying that's like it's for me. For me, I need something more practical, otherwise, something that doesn't require too much work. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do it. So that's the unfortunate thing, and so that's why I've decided on very, very minimal design. I've used a sepia, what is that? The Sakura Pigma Micron thing, just a fine liner. And I love sepia recently. Gold fits perfectly with sepia, so it's it's just a thing. The next thing I've decided to do is it kind of ties in with that schedule. I've counted that in the month of April with 2 videos a week schedule. I will have 9 videos with my release dates and stuff. So I've made basically a page where I could write down the specifics and kind of see where I am with those videos. Let's say write down supplies, and because I also have a ginormous list of video ideas that are just laying all over. I have one in my sketchbook, I have one in my daily journal for the to-do lists, I have one laying in my drawing box. Yeah, so it will be nice to just kind of come back with it. I might actually do a separate part of this bullet journal that doesn't have anything to do with monthly stuff, and just have it for projects. Things that I have in my head, but somehow, I don't know, I didn't really start writing down and thinking about supplies and scheduling and things like that. And when I started recording this, I was so tired. I was feeling so drained. I think drained is really good word here. And as you can see, the setting of this video is much different. I turned off most of my lights. I put on some candles. I prepared myself my favorite chamomile tea. I even took a cookie, even though no sweets is one of the things on my monthly tracker. Because I'm trying to reduce the sugar I'm intaking. I have no limits when it comes to sugar, guys. Most of the people, when they eat a lot of sugar and sweet stuff, they get nauseous after a while. I do not. Okay, that is a problem. But I got myself a cookie, and it really made me feel much better and much more relaxed. I mean, at the moment when I'm recording this voiceover, it's 1:30 in the morning. And surprisingly enough, in the meantime, while the gold ink was drying, I also changed the sheets in the bedroom. I do a few little other chores. I felt much more rejuvenated and just relaxed, and I don't know, it really was a nice break, different thing, and organizing myself definitely kind of helps me go over that fatigue, because I know that in my case, it's just all in my head, and yeah. So, I'm sorry guys for going over this really kind of weird topic. I hope you don't mind. If you have similar experiences, or if you have any tips on how to deal with kind of, that drained feeling, the fatigue and stuff, then let me know in the comments below. I know I'm a little bit behind with answering the comments lately. That's another thing that causes panic in me. But I will be I will be doing it again, and I'm definitely reading them all as well. So, thank you so very much for watching this video, guys. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!